Förlåt. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Julia and welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna talk about obesity, overfeeding snakes. This is my assistant for today. This is my ball python Ezio, and he is 2 years old and hasn't been eating for 5 weeks, so I don't know how he will be with me, but he is my sweetest snake, so gonna use him. Okay, so what did inspire this video to happen? And I follow a lot of snake related, reptile related video accounts on Facebook, Instagram. I don't think I follow one on Twitter. I don't know, can't remember. And they have a tendency to repost very obese animals. Wind it back very far to like last year in the summertime. I saw a picture being reposted on or retweeted on Twitter, and that was a tokay gecko with fat rolls. I will see if I can find the picture. It looks cute, right? Right? No. This is not how they are supposed to look like. That is a very fat, extremely fat actually, tokay. They are actually a very slim lizard. We'll show a picture here. Notice the difference. The wild animal, or the wild lizard, has no fat rolls. It's very slim. The wild animal doesn't have fat rolls. It's slim. And people were arguing in the comments on this tweet that no, this is how they are supposed to look like, no, no, yeah, no, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the majority of people thought it was adorable, which I find to be horrifying. We've all seen the really big breeders with their really big snakes, and they are being reposted, and everyone wants to have a really big snake like them, and it grinds my gears, okay? It grinds my gears really badly. And here is me telling you why you should not support this and doing it yourself. Here is a picture of a breeder reticulated python we can take. They are mostly common in this. From a very famous breeder. We all know who he is, and I'm probably sure he will bash me for this. But yes, this is his snakes. I'm not gonna tell any names because I know majority of people that will see this video will probably understand who it is. But yeah, this is his snake. Notice how big, fat, and enormous the snakes are. Do you think they look like this naturally? I will give you a second to reflect. No, they are not supposed to look like that. This is how a healthy, wild, reticulated python should look like. Notice how slim and long they are. Reticulated pythons is the longest alive species of python or snakes in general today, 2019. And they are not supposed to have fat bulks on the sides of their body. So why do they do this? Overfeeding the animals, power feeding them, and making them fat. Well, for once, it's the wow factor. People are just crazy for it. The wow factor, the thing that it is a ginormous snake. It's impressive, you know? It makes them bigger faster. In size, that means they can breed faster. But this will have tremendous negative impact on their life and quality of life. For instance, snakes are opportunistic. They will eat if they are fed. Most of them. With them being so overweight and so fast, it will cut down their life. A wild reticulated python, or a healthy one, can be up for 30-40 years. I'm sure even longer in some cases, but I will take that as a reference. But if you do this, you can cut their lifespan in half. So instead of 30, you can get it at 15 or even shorter. And especially if you're breeding them, which takes a toll on their body tremendously. At least if you're doing it at the rate a facility does. Hello, oh, you're cute. Look how cute it is. So why do they still do it? For money, obviously. Like I said, it's a wow factor to have a big ass snake. And that generalization of it, or normalization of it, will have effect on every snake owner. Not only the ones that are trying to keep them at a healthy weight, or the ones that are just trying it out. It will make people believe that that is how they are supposed to look like. And it's really hard at the beginning to see if a snake is starting to get fat or not. Here is the diagram of an underweight snake. You can see a clear triangle and how a healthy snake looks like. Instead of the really pointed, so you can clearly see the spine, but you are supposed to still see a little bit of spine, but a little bit rounded out. That is the perfect for the majority of snakes. Some are obviously exceptions, like big ass anacondas and some other species like short-tailed pythons. But the majority of snakes are supposed to have a little bit of a triangle-y shape. If it starts to look like that, like the spine is not the highest point of their body and it kind of like sunken down and then up, they are fat, extremely fat as well. Majority of snakes are overfed in just normal homes that are trying to have them at a healthy weight because they get too frequent feedings. Snakes in the wild are, like I said, opportunistic and will feed whenever they found food, which is not as often as, let's say, in captivity. So what are some signs that you have a fat snake and what you can do to help them? Obviously, less frequent feeding, and you can even make it a bigger prey but keep the feedings more separate. So let's say that you have a ball python and you feed it once a week, let's say a medium-sized rat. Take a large rat every 3 weeks. That will have a tremendously good effect on the snake. Since they are not supposed to, they don't move as much in captivity as all animals do in captivity, and therefore have more easier time to get really fat. One way you can see it is, I'm gonna take Ezio for example, is look at the tail. A lot of people don't know actually that a snake's body is not a whole tail or a long tail. They actually have quite short tails. From here is a cloaca, and down from the cloaca to the tip, that is his tail. The rest is just his body. If you can see cleared fat deposits, that it doesn't just go smooth down to the tip, it's, you know, a little bit bulky. That can mean either way, 2 ways. Your snake needs to poop really badly, or that it's fat. Same thing if it gets a lot of fat rolls. A snake is not supposed to have fat rolls. Obviously it can get a little bit bent in the scales when it's, you know, bent. He doesn't get too much because he, like I said, he's at a healthy weight. But that is one way you can look at it. And also look at the scales. The scales spread. They don't get more scales just because they get fatter, but there can be a large gap between each scale. Obviously, if you're stretching the skin of them, you can see it more clearly anyways. But if it's always like that, if it is just straight, completely straight like this, and you still see a large gaps, especially on the upper parts of their body, or, you know, more on their back than their tummy. That can be a huge indication that the snake is overweight. So if you are a snake keeper and you think these humongous snakes are really impressive and really awesome and you want one yourself, please reconsider. Or please don't do it at all. It's not healthy and it's not good. I think the most impressive thing you can do is have a healthy animal. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, anything, leave them down below, and I hope we can end this animal cruelty with overfeeding them for all the animals' safety. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you, and have a nice day. Bye! I kind of look like the Swedish flag with this makeup and my yellow hair, for reference. Bye!